Good morning, it's MJ, and this is a journal reading for the collective for Wednesday, January 29th. And I'm sorry, yesterday I did not get to do the reading because I was touring a school, a choice school here in Seattle. My daughter, for those of you who don't know, has dyslexia and ADD, and traditional learning is just, it's not working for us. And so I went to an open house yesterday, hoping that I can get her into this choice school in Seattle. That would, I think, be a better fit. So I apologize for missing yesterday, but it was for my daughter, and so for that, it was a very good cause. So let's get on track for today and see what we have going on. All right, so the energy that we're working with today at this moment in time where we are all in, collectively speaking, you may be sitting at your desk at work, you may be laying in bed perhaps it's still early where you are. Let's see. Or maybe it's very late, I don't know. Okay, so the crows bring to us the Queen of Cups. Oops, let me bring that down a bit. And so we're in this position today to create relationships with others, to build strong foundations that are built on trust and understanding and the connection that we have with one another. This is where you're able to perhaps put aside your own impressions of a situation so that you can gather more information from somebody else, so that you can understand where they're coming from. You can extend compassion. It's where you take a back seat, in a sense, for your own needs and concerns, and you really focus your energy, your attention on creating a place of peace for others, where you bridge the gap, where you find the common goal that will serve the greater good. And so here we have this beautiful Queen of Cups. She's this crow that sits on this beach and this on her throne, this stone throne. And in the Crow Tarot, you'll see that the thrones, with the exception of the wand suit, the royal or the noble crows, their thrones are stone because it signifies this grounded energy, this connection to earth. And granted, yes, the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands have that grounding, but they also have that fiery lion energy. So that's why I made their thrones lions. But for the cups and the swords and the pentacles, the royal crows have their position being in this place that's really solid and grounded. And so that's what we have here with this Queen of Cups. And you can see in the traditional Rider-Waite, oh my God, I almost did a Barbara Walters, a Rider-Waite deck, the Rider-Waite deck here, the cup is covered to signify that her emotions, she's keeping her emotions in check. Her emotions aren't what matters at this time. And so here we have this queen with feathers over her cup to signify that she is putting aside her emotions for others, that she's giving up a little bit of herself for others. And so we have this bounty of food. And the story that goes with this Queen of Cups is that, crows, if you don't know, are very territorial. So in our neighborhood, we have certain crows that stick in this 2-block radius. And when other crows come in, it's a big deal, and they make a lot of noise, as if hey, you're coming in to steal our food or our resources or whatever. You're just coming in to, impose. And so the idea with this Queen of Cups is that she welcomes all of the crows. It doesn't matter where they come from, and she shares her food with others who are hungry. And so this is this crow who creates a place where people of different opinions and backgrounds and ideology can come together and find common ground. And so that's what she does. She facilitates this. And so let's see what we have coming up, because you're in this position to be that mediator, to be that person, to stand up, take control of a situation, you know, assert your nobility in a way that does not separate others, but brings together perhaps a community. So let's see what the dogs bring to us. Oops, pardon me. So it's so cold. It's so cold and rainy. My hands are having a hard time functioning. Oh my goodness. Okay. Warming up. And here we have the Hermit. And this card from the Wise Dog not only signifies getting away and getting outside of the city here. And the city is, you can see it's Seattle with the Space Needle here. This dog signifies a time of going inward and checking in with yourself, and perhaps using this opportunity to gain a better understanding for who you are. So if you're in this position of being a referee, if you're in this position of feeling as though your needs and your, your emotions aren't center stage, it may be time, after you can figure out how to best utilize this energy of the Queen of Cups, to retreat and rebuild that strength that you have, to gain perspective even. You know, if you're always giving, and you're always doing for others, the time may be that, it may be time for you to go inward and figure out where your needs are, what matters to you, where do you want to go. And the Hermit is what is going to prevent you from feeling resentment, because with the Queen of Cups, it's very easy to become that person who is just like, the person who just has to handle everybody else's drama, or, who has to step in and like take care of the those around them, to a point where you lose a bit of yourself. And although there's beauty in that, and there's a need in this world for people who can step up and put themselves aside to help others, it can become exhausting, and it can really wear on your spirit. So the key here is to recognize that time when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling resentment sink in, when you're giving of yourself and it no longer feels warm and fuzzy inside. Instead, it starts to feel like, oh, great, now I've got to make cookies for the freaking bake sale. Are you kidding me? And then that may be what you're saying on the inside, but on the outside, you're smiling and saying, of course, yes, I can take care of that. So keep in mind when you get into the state of overextending yourself, right? When does something become a challenge, and when does it become a source of resentment? When are you like saying, okay, well, I can do that, and yes, it's going to cause me a little bit of discomfort, but I can handle it, versus, oh my God, I don't know if I can take on yet another task. So the Hermit is going to come in to help you find that space, to help you recognize before you make any rash decisions where you throw up your hands in the air and say, you know what, I can't take this anymore. I quit the board, or I quit this responsibility, or this volunteering job. I'm just going to call it quits. The Hermit's going to allow you that time to go inward, to gain some wisdom over, whatever it is that you have going on. So let's see what the cats bring. As a result of all of this, what advice can they offer you at this time to help you transition from the Queen of Cups to the Hermit? You know, the Queen of Cups is all about giving, giving, giving of herself emotionally and helping others. And the Hermit is like retreating and pulling back inward into yourself. So how do we bridge this? How do we get to that point? And this does not mean that you need to stop helping those in need. No, no, no. It just means everybody, I don't care who you are. You could be the Pope or the saint or whoever, you know, who goes out and helps people. Everyone needs some time to themselves. Everybody needs a little self-pampering, you know? Oops. And we have the Ten of Wands. So to me, you can see like this cat is extending its body. It's trying to reach a goal. It's trying to obtain something, this level, you know, perhaps of perfection or whatever this goal looks like for you. And it's stretching and stretching. And what it doesn't realize is that if it were to think about its situation a little bit differently, if it were to look around and see what resources perhaps it has around that will that can help this cat get up there, it may find an easier solution. And that's what this little bird here is. This little bird is your inner voice. And that's what we have with the Hermit, right? We have that inner voice coming in and providing the necessary information that we need to help us create harmony, to create balance in our lives. And so right now we have this message is coming through from the cat saying, you're making this job, this task, whatever it is, so much more tedious and complicated than it needs to be. Listen to your inner voice. Let your creative mind flow and come up with new solutions that will help you obtain your goal. And if that goal is to get to a place where you have moments in your life where you can just retreat, where you can detach maybe a little bit from what's going on so you can recharge your battery, it may be that you're making it far more complicated than it needs to be. You may be constructing scenarios in your head. Well, if I don't bake the cookies for the bake sale, who will, right? You may be feeding into that you know, coming up with all these creative reasons why you need to stay in this place of servitude. And so it's not about giving this up completely. It's about taking time for yourself. It's about gaining some wisdom that comes from alone time, from taking a break, from detaching perhaps a little bit from tasks that cause resentment. You know, if you're giving, if you're volunteering, if you're helping somebody and it fills your heart with joy and love and you feel nothing but gratitude while you're doing it, keep doing it. If the moment resentment seeps in, it's going to almost create toxicity in the process. It's going to create almost where, and it's almost like cancerous in a way where, you know, the minute you start to feel negative emotions towards helping somebody or volunteering, all of a sudden it just sort of spreads and you can't get back to that feeling of being grateful. So the key here is watch your emotions, watch how you're feeling towards others. If you're starting to feel yourself becoming zapped or no longer, you know, looking forward to volunteering or helping others, it doesn't mean that you're going to stop permanently, but you do need to take some time alone and feed yourself, to feed your spirit, and to get some wisdom and get some insight as to maybe where these emotions are coming from. Why do you feel this way? Where is this resentment stemming from? And so that's going to help you, the Hermit's going to help you solve that. Again, with this Ten of Wands here, you know, this problem breaking away or whatever it is that your goal doesn't need to be so complicated. The solutions are right there in front of you, but you have to be able to listen to your intuition. And if your intuition is being blocked right now, then you're going to find it's going to be more challenging than it needs to be. So pay attention to how you feel when you're helping others. You know, are you taking on too much? Are you giving just the right amount? You know, are you allowing space for yourself to get away and have a retreat perhaps? Or are you making excuses as to why you can't? And that's what's just going to make whatever it is that you're working with more of a struggle. So I hope this reading makes sense. Much love, and I will see you tomorrow.